So you're thinking of moving to Columbia, South Carolina, and any of the surrounding suburbs or surrounding areas such as Blythewood, which we will be going over today, about 30 minutes outside of Columbia. That is a whole different style of living that we will go over. I'm going to go over in this video. We'll be going over the pros and cons, the good, the bad, the yin, the yang, all of that about Blythewood, so you can make an informed decision as to whether you want to make Blythewood your home. If you're moving from out of state, if you're moving from a different suburb, any of that. If you stick around to the end, obviously I give facts about me throughout, how different experiences that I have in Blythewood, South Carolina. If this is your first time on the channel, here with living in Columbia, South Carolina, and you want to know everything there is to know about living in Columbia, South Carolina and the surrounding suburbs such as Blythewood, which again we will be talking about today, then subscribe below, click the bell, and you can be the first to learn about the current market here in Columbia, South Carolina and Blythewood. So my name is Chad. I've lived here pretty much my entire life, all the way from school and private school to high school to college, even at the University of South Carolina, and so I know more about it than most. So if you're looking to make a move to Blythewood, South Carolina, whether it's in 7 days, 70 days, or even within the next year, give me a call, email, text. I would love to help you out at any time. And most importantly, if you check the banner, you can go straight to my calendar and set up a 30 to 45 minute Zoom call. This is what I love doing with clients. Real estate is relationship business. I do not sell homes. What I do is mediate and help people work through one of the third highest stressful situations in buying and selling a home. And I help you work through that and make it as smooth and painless as possible. So what I would love to do, a lot of my best friends have came from my real estate business. So click on that link, set up a 30 to 45 minute Zoom meeting so that we can talk in person. I can get to know a little more about you, help you out in this difficult process as it can be sometimes, but still one of the most enjoyable. So here we go as far as talking about the pros and cons of Blythewood, South Carolina. The first pro number one are the homes, the availability of the homes. As of right now, when I am making this video, there are about 150 homes on the market for sale in Blythewood, South Carolina. Now, I think in even one of my previous videos on Blythewood, as far as the blog that I did, I said there was about 2,000 people in Blythewood. And since I have discovered through other means, there is closer to about 6,200 people. And from 22 to 23, it increased by about 1,000 people. And it's increasing even more. Now, there are certain reasons why that is. In Blythewood, as the outskirts of most bigger cities, you can get more acreage. But now, again, those 150 homes that are for sale in Blythewood right now, a little over half of those are new builds. More stuff is moving into Blythewood, South Carolina. If you compare it to, say, Lexington, which is got a great small town feel to it, but it's grown over the past number of years to over 25,000 people now. Well, this is where Blythewood is where Lexington was 20 years ago, except it has more to offer in this little small town of a population of about 6,200 people. And when I say that, one of the big things that is happening with them right now is Scout Motors. Now, Scout Motors just moved in. It's been a huge project. They just broke ground on a huge bit of acreage in Blythewood. They broke ground in February of this year, of 2025. It's going to have a massive facility in Blythewood. They're going to have paint shops, body shops, final assembly buildings, a training center, a technology center. They're going to have all of this in there. As a matter of fact, they're supposed to start the hiring process toward the end of 2025. Now, I've just heard recently that they are also even bringing in a lot of their German people. Now, with it in the agreement that they got some tax breaks with the state of South Carolina, there's a certain percentage that they have to hire people from South Carolina. Now, this facility, when it is done and they actually start manufacturing electric vehicles, is what they're mainly going to be doing. It's going to give about 400,000 permanent jobs with their facility. This is huge for Blythewood. We don't have the numbers for 2024 yet, but I'm sure this is one of the big reasons why Blythewood is growing. Yet it's still rural, but you're getting a lot more people coming in. And there are other reasons that people are here too, and how much they love it, which we're gonna go over. But they will, once this facility gets up and going, not only is it 4,000 permanent jobs, but it also, with Scout Motors, has they'll be producing about 200,000 electric vehicles a year, which is, again, just huge. Everything's got lots going electric right now. They chose South Carolina for a reason when they did it, and I can't wait to see what happens with Blythewood. Now, even though we have less population in Blythewood, homes are going, even though they're priced compared to a national average, they're priced still incredibly low. It's still a little bit elevated prices in Blythewood itself. To give you an example, I'm under contract with the exact same model with Stanley Martin in Irmo, South Carolina, that's even more established. It is $485,000 that they're paying for it in Irmo, where my guys closed on that same model with new builds around $535,000 in Blythewood. That's the difference in the price of land that is going right now, and all that they're doing on that. One of the other things that goes with this growing, which is the pro number 2, is growing with this business in Blythewood, South Carolina. One of the things growing is also executive neighborhoods. I'm just finding out a lot about some of these executive neighborhoods. Ashley Oaks, from what I've heard, I have not confirmed this yet, but it's changed into an executive neighborhood, which means your house will appraise for even more. It means that they're larger homes, more expensive homes, more people that are in these are more professional homes. And I think the reason Ashley Oaks has been switched to an executive is because Scout Motors is right in its backyard. So it's going to become an executive center. You have more retail things, more, it's just for a higher class of people. It's almost called a professional neighborhood. So keep that in mind too. Now, pro number 3 when it comes to Blythewood are their schools. Their schools are in Richland District 2. And in Richland District 2, based on the scale of like 10, the 2 high schools, Blythewood and Westwood, are 10 and 9 out of 10. They're some of the best high schools in the area. A lot of people are moving here just for the public schools. Just in the elementary schools, which are about 8 and 9 respectively out of 10, 2 of the top ones are Round Top and Lake Carolina elementary schools. Both of those are very high. The rest of the middle schools, elementary schools, etc., the rest of them fall around 7 out of 10. So even though a lot of people are moving out here for the public school system. Pro number 4, you're talking locally owned restaurants mainly, but even businesses that are out there in Blythewood. They don't really have a particular main street where you go. If I had to say something centered around anything, I would probably say everything centers around Doko Meadows Park, which we will go over in just a little bit on another pro. But it has, for locally owned restaurants, one of my favorite is Chubby's Burgers and Brew House. They have some of the best burgers. They've got an extensive menu, and I actually went out there with one of my clients, and it is great. Now they have all your Columbia local restaurants, a lot of them there too, such as your Lizard's Thicket, your Groucho's. They've got even Zaxby's out there. a lot of those, if you want some good southern cooking as well, those are some places that you can go. Blythewood's also not far. It's further than Northeast Columbia, but it's still not far from Fort Jackson also. So a lot of military that comes in here, which I'm gonna do a VA specific video soon. And I will talk about that and some of the surrounding areas that a lot of people are moving to that are in military families and Fort Jackson. And you have, of course, your other local stuff. Waffle House is one of my favorite local chains. McDonald's. Now, the number 5 reason that most people move here to is the whole country club situation. It might be small, but there are 3 major golf courses that a lot of people love to come to play on. Now, 2 of them have memberships, and the other one, you can have a membership, but at the same time, you can go as a free day pass as well. You don't have to have a membership just to play. The first one there is Cobblestone. Has 27 holes of golf. You can go for daily passes or, of course, with your membership, and it's beautiful. On my vlog of Blythewood, I go through 2 homes that are actually located in Cobblestone. It is a gated community. I had to check in through the front gate just to go to those homes and show them. Incredible community. A lot of people love to go there. Now, the Windermere and the Country Club and the Columbia Country Club golf courses, both of those are private. You have to be a member or know a member to get in to play with those. And of course, they also have membership to those country clubs. Involves other things such as pool, tennis, and pickleball. Pickleball is the latest craze. Everybody's getting into it, believe it or not, whereas a lot of the older crowd's getting into it because it's not as much movement as tennis. My youngest son is getting me into pickleball, and it has been a blast. And of course, there are events going on around the year. That's for the golf lovers. It's a rural area, and there's some beautiful golf courses out there if that's what you enjoy doing. Number 6 is horses. There are horse places. A lot of people who want to ride horses, they want to board their horses, even have birthday parties, etc. There are equestrian parks out in Blythewood. They even have a rodeo later on, throughout the year too. It's centered, that rural life, it's centered all around horses too. Long Creek Equestrian Center. They have horse riding lessons, birthday parties, camp programs. You can do all kinds of stuff. They have socialized the horse business to where they have, from everybody that I've heard that's been out there has done, loves the center. Some of the others out there, Cedar Ridge Farm, you can board horses out there. Smith Farms, riding lessons also. It's a horse town, Blythewood. It started out as a horse town when you came to Blythewood. Number 7 is, I put this park as number 7. I go through this park and show a lot of it in my vlog of Blythewood. It's Doko Meadows Park. They have all kinds of stuff out there from events. They have a weekly farmers market. They have open fields you can play in. They have hiking that you can do out there. They have a small mile-long course out there. They have where you can hike around pond that is out there. They have a venue for weddings and stuff that is right next to it. But they have all kinds of stuff out there. They have a amphitheater that they do shows and stuff there. They have festivals that are done out there. They have huge playground around the pond and stuff. Number 8 pro, and the last pro, is they also, it's just a great community with everything that they're doing in the aspect that there's festivals throughout the year. They have a film festival that is out there. They have a poetry festival that you can go to. Not necessarily my cup of tea, but a lot of people end up going to this. They have a big Oktoberfest. It's one of the big things in the fall that Blythewood has. They, again, like I had said earlier in the video, they have a rodeo. Of course, there is a Christmas parade, and Santa is there. That you can, you got to go meet Santa at the Christmas parade, bringing all the kids there. Everybody sits outside on side the roads while they come through. It's just a blast to watch. More than anything, just watch the kids, their faces as they come through. It's not necessarily Disney World, but it's just as close to that small town feel. Now, let's go through a couple of the cons, which in all my pros and cons videos, I turn the cons into pros majority of the time. Now, for me, I love the rural lifestyle, but the number one con can be a con if you like the big city life. It's not the big city. Now, traffic, there's not a huge amount of traffic in Blythewood. If you want that big city feel, or even a bigger suburb feel, such where you're looking for malls, you're looking for Targets, the big sports stores, the huge movie theaters, things like that, you're not going to get that here in Blythewood. The good part is it is a suburb, so it's not far. 30-minute drive, 18 miles just to downtown Columbia. Or even, you can even take I-77 to I-20, 26, and you can hit it to all the way across town to where there are some just great places as far as a lot of those malls and to do your shopping, etc. Con number 2, there's not a lot of nightlife. If you're looking for nightlife and the fun that you can do, there's of course some things in Blythewood. You can go, and it's the perfect feel in that rural environment to do a huge camp thing, to go camping, to gather around the fire, to do some music, praise and worship, singing, some guitar, whatever you want to do. And because most of the land, a lot of them do have bigger acreage, you can do that in your backyard, and you can have a huge bonfire or a huge party around that area if you want to. So those type of night things you can do. But going out dancing, going out drinking, you've got to go to 5 Points, the Vista in downtown Columbia. That's going to be where a lot of your nightlife comes from, some huge sporting events, etc. Con number 3, it's a commute. If you are, most people that move here do not work in Blythewood. They're commuting to Columbia or even another suburb. Now for me, I love the commute. I love traveling. It's me time. I can flip the radio on. I can listen to some music. I can jam out in my own way at 51 years old. I love that me time that I have when I'm even in real estate, going from house to house to house. I absolutely love what I do. But some people do not like the commute and do not like driving. Most families, you're a long time, because when you get home, you are there for your wife, your kids. You're going 90 miles an hour, cooking, working out, walking, whatever it may be. And so you enjoy the commute. But for a lot of people, they do not like that as much. Part of that commute you can include in that if you do not go to public schools. And there's some great schools in Richland too, in Blythewood. But if you do not do public schools and you go to a private school, there are not really any private schools in Blythewood that I know of. Closest is going to be downtown with Cardinal Newman. You can go from 77 to 20 and hit right there at CIU, which is a college, but also part of that college right next to it is Ben Lippen High School. It's a private school as well. Now to go all the way across town, in my West Columbia video, you have a lot of private schools over there, from Grace Christian, Colonial Christian, Gray Academy. A lot of those are going to be, it could be as much as 45-minute drive to there. Now, if it's a great school you're looking for, a lot of those are incredible. I can tell you more about that in a private situation where you're on one of those Zoom calls that I told you. Look at the barcodes, set up a Zoom call with me, my phone number, everything's in the description below on my channel. If you subscribe to that, check it out. I answer calls, emails, texts like that every single day. or leave it in the comment, and I can get back as you leave a comment there. But the most effective way is that Zoom call. I like to see you face to face and establish that relationship. A little bit about me and Blythewood. My nephew and niece grew up in Blythewood, right in Northeast Columbia. My brother and sister-in-law own Crossings Deli, which is great place. If it is get the smokestack if you go into Crossings. It is the best one in there. Get it heated, don't get it cold, and they give you almost 1,000 island dipping sauce that is great. But it's right next to the Northeast Hospital, Providence Hospital, off of Faro Road. Go out there, but they have that deli there in Northeast Columbia, but they have lived and grown up in Blythewood, South Carolina. So I've gone over to Blythewood a lot of times and done a lot of those bonfires. We've grilled ribs in the backyard, etc. They just moved and built their own house all the way. My nephew's a hunter, a fisherman. He goes out from duck hunting, quail hunting, to you name it, he has done it. And on top of that, he does boats for other people too. Has done some of that and can help you out from mud motors to right on down the line. But this is everything about Blythewood, South Carolina. With Blythewood, it would be one of my favorite places to move to. But it is growing fast, and especially with Scout Motors, that they're also widening I-77. They're doing a whole nother exchange just because of Scout Motors. They're widening that. US 21, they're doing some stuff there. They're doing a new bridge that should be completed by the end of 25. They're making the way for this Scout Motors that is just broadening Blythewood big time. But you've got coffee shops. You've got everything in Blythewood you could need. If I wasn't here in Irmo and I hadn't grown up right here in West Columbia, Irmo, Chapin style area, and have a lot of family from my parents, aunt and uncles in Lexington. I've got people all over the place, and I just want to be closer to Lake Murray because I love going out to Lake Murray. But if I was not here, I would be in Blythewood, especially if I had if I loved horses, if I had horses, if I wanted to be in that type of business. And I just love that small town atmosphere. But with all the new builds and stuff coming in, you can have almost that great neighborhood life in a rural area and still be close to everything too. Subscribe to my channel. It's just going to help me get the word out to even more people so I can help more people, establish a team myself, aid more people moving to the Midlands and Columbia, South Carolina, and the surrounding suburbs. Have a good one. Until the next video.